Welcome to Lesson 7 on the inside-out golf swing. I'd like to refine your full swing now that we learned in Lesson 6. We're going to start out by discussing alignment to the shot. I like to keep the concept of alignment very simple. If you'll picture the line to the target, it goes right through the ball all the way to the target. Pretend that's one railroad track, okay? The other railroad track is where you're going to set your feet, okay? So I want your feet, the line through your feet, parallel to the target line, just like you were standing on the second railroad track. Also, the line across your knees, your hips, and your shoulders should all be square to that first railroad track. Another useful image that I use is to imagine the target line as a brick wall and face that brick wall squarely. Many players will have the hips and the feet and the knees square, and the shoulders will be fanned open. So it's especially important that you think about the line through your shoulders and make sure it's parallel to those railroad tracks and the target line. Now, if you're going to curve the ball, as we'll discuss in the next one, you might turn your alignment into whichever way you want the initial direction of the shot to go. Okay? Let's move on now to the inside-out golf swing and talk about, let's define the term inside for starters, okay? To many players, inside refers to everything on the player's side of the target line, and outside refers to everything on the other side of the ball. I like to make that a little bit more precise by talking about it in terms of the swing plane itself. A good way to visualize the swing plane is to imagine a huge record album 8 feet high and just roll it right onto the screen right now and set it up so that it's right here in front of us, and the bottom of it is touching the target line right at the ball. Now, if I were to take that huge record album and tilt it over me so that it's at an angle like this, you have a rough idea of what the angle of the swing plane is all about. And everything on the player's side of that swing plane is inside, and everything on that side of the swing plane is outside. Inside-out swing really means that the club moves inside the target line on the backswing and downswing, along the target line and back inside. So inside-out really means inside, along, inside the target line. The reason we say inside-out, in my opinion, is that if the player is aligned properly to the shot, by that I mean you're set up square to the target line, it will feel to a player on a good golf shot as if he or she were to hit the ball to the right of the target, or in the case of baseball, it's like if you were trying to hit it to the first baseman. I'm saying again that on a good golf shot, it feels for a brief moment on the downswing as if you're going to hit the ball to the right. So the feeling is what we call down and out, as opposed to what most players do, which is out and down, the classic over-the-top outside-in swing. What keeps the club on the track when you feel like you're inside out is the fact that as the body turns, it squares the club back up, brings it along the target line, and as the turning continues, it brings the club back inside the target line. So, once again, the club moves down, the turning of the body puts it on track, turning of the body brings it back inside. So we have the concept of inside, along, inside, but it feels like inside, out. It feels like you're going to hit to the first baseman. You might say, Mike, I never felt like that in my life. And the reason is probably you're doing what a lot of players do, which is they set up way to the right of their ideal alignment, and then they swing over the top. So they never feel as if they're hitting the ball to the first baseman. Check your alignment by putting some clubs down next time you go out and practice your basic arc and your full swing on the lesson tee. Another way to determine if you're swinging properly and you have an inside-out golf swing is to check your divots. Okay, hopefully you're hitting shots. If you're making a good weight shift, you're getting divots. By that I mean you're hitting the ground and taking a piece of turf after you make contact with the ball. Hopefully your divots are pointing pretty close to on line to your target. If they're pointing way to the left, that means that you're going out and down instead of down and out. By the same token, if they're pointing way to the right, most likely you're not finishing your body turn and you're not getting that club back on track to the hole, so you're just doing this. You actually are hitting it to the first baseman. Your shots are probably going way to the right. So what you want to do if you're really a chronic slicer is make sure that your backswing arc, your downswing arc is a little bit below your backswing arc. You have a slight loop there in order to ensure that you're not taking the club back and then turning this way with the classic over-the-top swing, which, by the way, has no leg action. So I'm hoping that if you're with me here in Lesson 7, you've mastered the full golf swing. Now you understand that a good golf swing, if you coil sufficiently, by that I mean get enough depth in your arc via your shoulder turn, get over here instead of right here, get a good coil, drop the club into the slot. It will feel, as you unwind, as if you're going to hit the ball to the right of your actual target. Again, your momentum will carry you to the finish and the ball goes straight.